Hey, everybody. I'm glad that we are starting a new year. I hope everybody's excited. So, you guys are going to be taking a little bit of different approach to anatomy than the other classes, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about kind of expectations, what's going to go on this year. We're going to talk about your syllabus. We're going to talk about things that we will do during the year. So, you guys, the way things are working out this year, you guys will be taking this as a two-class period anatomy. Um, Sometimes you guys are going to be in my room. Sometimes you're going to be in the library. You'll probably be in the library a little more than you're in my room. So that's a little bit of different approach for anatomy for me, but for you guys, it may be a little different too. So for those of you, if there's anybody that hasn't taken my class before, my name is Miss Cruz. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for well over 20 years. I've been teaching here at Cooper for 3 years. This is my third year to teach. I have worked everywhere from ICU, ER, home health. I've been a clinic manager. I've done lots of different things in nursing and love it. And anatomy is really a lot of fun to teach. So I'm excited for you guys. So that's a little about me. You guys are going to do a little survey that tells me about you guys, about y'all, what you like, what you are interested in as far as anatomy, um, and just some different things like that. How I can get a hold of you if I need to. So I want to talk to you just a minute now about some expectations for this class. So this is the first year I've taught this class where you get articulated credit. You'll get credit for allied health professional anatomy for allied health professionals. If you're going into an LVN or an ADN program, you're going to take medical assistant. You're going to take any kind of associate's degree, health profession, then you are most likely going to need that VS, or you're going to need that allied health anatomy class. So you will get articulated credit for that. What articulated credit means is once you've completed 6 hours of college at pretty much any junior college in Texas, they will give you credit for this class. You just have to take the certificate you'll get at the end of the completion of this class, and they will add that to your transcript. So if you're going to PJC, you can take it to PJC. If you're getting credits from Eastfield, you could possibly take it or fax it to Eastfield. You just need to call them and check on that. So with that being said, this class is going to be it's going to be more challenging than a regular anatomy class. Those of you who took medical term with me last year, I taught that like an introduction to anatomy because I knew that I was going to be teaching this class this way this year. So I hope you guys remember some of what you learned, because that will help you a whole lot. Now, this is a college level class, so you will be required to do college level work. Some of the things to talk to you guys about that we'll be doing. You will be, first off, you will be having outside the classroom work. You'll have reading assignments. You'll have quizzes over those reading assignments to introduce what we're going to be talking about to you. This will be very fast paced. We're going to cover 18 chapters ish, somewhere around 18 chapters in the first semester. So, this is a fast paced course. We're going to cover what you would cover in Anatomy 1 the first semester, Anatomy 2 the second semester. So it'll be fast. You also will be dissecting things in this class. So we'll dissect a sheep pluck, which is the lungs, the heart, and the trachea. We will dissect a brain. We'll dissect a heart. We'll dissect kidneys, eyeballs, and anything else I can find interesting to dissect. We may end up even dissecting some bones if I can get some from and a liver if I can get those from the meat market. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. So there will be that kinds of hands-on material. We'll make slides. You guys will have a capstone project, which is a project that you will do throughout the entire year. And you will be graded on, you will receive a grade for it every 6 weeks. So what that is you'll get the assignment when we start into class. That probably your second class day, you'll get this assignment. But one of the things you're going to have to do is to keep a disease table. And so for every unit that we go through, you're going to have to choose 10 different diseases, and you'll have specific things you have to put into that disease table. So that'll be your capstone project. You'll get a test grade every 6 weeks for it. Each semester, it will count towards your semester grade. One thing I didn't tell you a while ago is to receive articulated credit. To be able to get those college hours, you have to make an 80 or more in this class. Your yearly average has to be an 80% or more. Now, also with this class, I have not decided, but I don't think you guys are going to get to exempt your midterm. I just don't think, so we're going through covering so much material. I don't think that I don't think you guys, the way it's set up, you're not gonna be able to exempt this class for midterms and finals. So be sure that you're working diligently. Also, by taking this class, you will be doing the work of 5 days in 4. You will be expected to do the same work as the other classes. So be sure that you are staying on task. When you're in the library, it's not going to help you when you're in there doing this part of this class. It will not benefit you at all to not be online listening and doing your projects and doing your work that needs to be done while you're in the library. If you do that, you will get behind and you will not succeed in this class. And once again, what's assigned, please be sure that you do, because your tests will come from the reading material, the lectures, and other things that we do. So be sure that you are staying up with your work. Let's see. You will have quizzes frequently. Sometimes they'll be on your syllabus, sometimes they won't. So that's why you need to be sure that you're staying up with your work, because you don't want to get behind and you don't want to take a quiz and not be successful on it. Now, in my class, remember, quizzes are just daily work, and daily work is daily work. You will, for every experiment that we do, every dissection that we do, you will write a lab report in APA format. So, and I'll give you examples of all those things when we get there. You have to take a lab safety test, all those kind of good things that you just do to provide, to be able to work in the lab. You have to make a 95 or better on your lab safety test too, because we do handle sharp objects and chemicals and things. At the end of the year, second semester, when we do the immune system, we will do a extended experiment that'll take us a couple of weeks. We'll work on it. You'll work on it each day on half of the period. Someone will be responsible for coming in and checking on it on Fridays in your group. And that's a really cool experiment. It's solving for the unknown bacteria. It's really fun. You get to go swab different things in the school, and we make media in a petri dish and we grow it out. It's a little bit of an introduction to microbiology, but it's a really, really fun experiment. It's a little smelly. Those of you that were in my class last year, and anyone come in and open the door, you know how smelly it can be. But it really is a fun, cool thing to get to do. And if you are going into a healthcare field, it will give you a little bit of knowledge on what microbiology is like. So let's see. What else do I need to tell you guys? You will talk about our syllabus. We're going to talk about your daily syllabus first, and then we're going to talk about expectations as far as everything else goes. So you receive a daily syllabus. It'll look like this. It looks really thick, I know, but this is everything we're going to do for the first semester. Now, if you read the top of it, which I hope that you do, it says that we are going to stick to this as close as possible. Sometimes we may get a little ahead, sometimes we may get a little bit behind, but we're going to do our best to stay on track with the syllabus. A lot of this stuff, like the first couple of units, are really review because they're it's like cavities and an introduction to anatomy where we talk about the different types of anatomy, that kind of thing, different body planes, anatomical structures, organ systems, just a brief overview. That's a pretty you guys have done that. I know if you've taken my class and you took principles and you took medical term, this will be the third time you've had that material. So we're going to go over that fast. When we go into the second unit, which is chemistry of life, that's from the molecular level onto the cellular level, and then how to make tissues, how cells make tissues, things like that. Those are that'll take a little bit of time because we'll talk about diffusion during that time, but still a pretty quick. It'll still be a pretty quick unit because we did cover it in medical term and we covered it in principles. Now, those of you who are taking this and have never taken my class before, you want to be sure that you are definitely staying on task. If you look at your daily syllabus, I give you information that says test week 3, day 5. That means that unit 1 test is going to be on week 3 on a Friday. I tell you, like probably the first, second, or third day of unit 2, it's bold, it's underlined, and so there should be no, and even your test days are bold and underlined so that you are aware and prepared. Use this syllabus. I want you do have to get it, no, I didn't make you get this one signed. This syllabus, when I check your binder, and I will check your binders, or if you have want to make a specific notebook for this class, you can, but I will expect to see this daily syllabus, and I will give you back the front part of your other syllabus. You have to have your parents sign and you sign. I'll give you that, and I expect to see those in your notebook. I also expect to see them looking a little tattered after the first, 6 weeks or so where you are planning ahead. You're going to put tests we're going to take some time at the end of this time period, and you're going to put your test days in your planner. You're going to, and I know it's a little bit of counting, but you're going to have to take time and put the test days in your planner. You're going to put when projects are due in your planner. You're going to put when your disease table checks are. You're going to put all those things in your planner to get that ready, because it is so important for you to know what's coming, and you can plan. You can do what's called backwards planning. So you know that basically the third week of school, on that Friday, you have a test in anatomy during 5th and 6th period, or 6th and 7th period. You have a test. So you need to be making sure that on Monday of that week, you start going back and reviewing your notes, reviewing your Cornell notes for this class. And I will expect you to take Cornell notes. I will be looking for those. I'll give you time about every 10 minutes during lecture to stop, talk to your partner next to you, and fill in the blanks on your notes. Please use that time diligently, because this will, like I said, this will be fast paced for you guys. You're doing 5 class periods full of work and 4 class periods. So be sure that you're using, when I give you 2 minutes to turn to your neighbor or to find somebody, look at a partner, and I'll tell you specifically how I want you to do that. Turn to your left, turn to your right. If you're at the end by yourself, go talk to the person at the other end of the room. But I want you to compare your notes. I'll give you 2 minutes. There'll be a timer on the board. Blish will know that that's part of what you're supposed to be doing. So 2 minutes of actually visiting should be all you're doing. Just once again, be sure you are utilizing that time to go back and highlight in your notes, circle things, write questions, do all the stuff you need to do in those Cornell notes. Because if you're not doing it, because I'm going to actually ask you at the end of, like, the beginning of a class period, to take a picture of your notes with your Chromebook and send that and send that to me. You'll have to turn that in as part of a bell ringer sometimes. So be sure that you're doing that. It also helps you review the material, but you want to make sure that you're looking at this syllabus and you're looking at your planner and you're going back and going, okay, I got a test on Friday in anatomy. I need to start looking at my notes every day for 20 minutes this week. Use the material. I need to be reviewing what I read. Use your time wisely. This daily syllabus will be your best friend, because since you have everything that's due for the semester, then there is no excuse for you not to be able to get things turned in timely. If you are going to be gone, if you're in FFA, if you are, if you're going to be going to a basketball tournament, you're leaving early for a ball game, whatever, that doesn't mean you have extra days to do that. That just means it's still due because you already knew it was due. So you need to turn it in timely. You can always turn things in early. I'm going to be a stickler this year for a few things. One of them is turning things in on time. If you're late, I will take points off. If you are absent, for every 1 day you're absent, you get 1 day to turn things in. Everything you turn in will be turned in on Google Classroom. You're not going to share it with me. You're going to turn it in on the specific assignment, and you're going to turn it in. You're going to turn it in the way it goes. If you share stuff with me, you're not going to get a grade for it. Turn things in on the assignment. I will make a video. I will upload that video that reminds you guys how to turn things in, but you will turn everything in on Google Classroom. You will not share anything with me. You will turn it in on Google Classroom. I want you guys to just be real diligent about that. I'm going to be a stickler for that. Like I said, turning things in timely. So if you have a football game and you're leaving during 7th period and you have a test that's 6th and 7th period, that test is probably pretty much going to be just one class period. It may be 50 questions or so, but one class period, 30 to 50 questions. So that's how your range is going to be, 30 to 50 questions on these tests. So be sure that you're getting in there on time and taking it because you have to take it. It won't be available until class period time, until the time for your class period. So you'll have to come in. If you need to take it before, you need to let me know. If you don't, and you miss the test, then I will take off 10 points. So just like it's late. If you are absent, you get once again, you get 1 day for every one additional day for every day that you're absent. So if you're absent on Monday and you're back to school on Tuesday and that was due on Monday, it's due on Tuesday when you come back. There's no excuse. If you're out Monday and Tuesday, then it's due Thursday. So be sure that you're turning everything in on time. This is a college, you're getting college credit, so I'm going to, actually, if you were in college, they wouldn't give you a time, an additional day to turn it in. If it was due on Monday and you missed on Monday, you either didn't get a grade or it was due when you walked in. You can attach things and turn things in anytime. So because you're turning them in on the classroom page, so there's no reason. Another thing I ask is if you are absent, please try to email me and let me know you're absent. They'll take roll, but I may not necessarily see your roll because I won't take it every day. Sorry, guys. So be sure that you are emailing me to let me know you're absent. I think it'll show up on my roll, but I won't be taking your roll every day. Other expectations. You know how I am about academic honesty and academic dishonesty. Academic dishonesty is anything that you might do to give yourself an advantage. That means if you are cheating, and cheating includes opening any other screen besides your test during testing time, that is an automatic 0. Plagiarism, when we do reports and things, having somebody else do your work. I don't tolerate academic dishonesty. And it takes away privileges from the class, but it also, you'll just get a 0. Period. Let me tell you about testing this year. So testing this year is going to be a little bit different. I know y'all are so used to just having those lovely multiple choice questions in my class. Not this year. You do have multiple choice for part of your test, but you're going to have some critical thinking questions where you actually have to type out the answer. So you're going to have some short answers or some essay, or sometimes you're going to have some case study type questions. So tests are not going to simply be multiple choice this year, which means you will not get your grade immediately. It will take a little bit to get your grade back, but your grades will also be posted on Google Classroom, and it will let you know. I'll send it back to you. Another requirement for this class is you must check your school email at least once a day. Especially since I don't see you every day, you must check your email every day. That way, if we have a change of assignment or something's happened or something's going on, we're going to have to switch a lab because I'm out that day, and you're going to have to go to class, all that, you will get notified of all that. So you must check your email every day. And you probably should check it before you come to sixth period. So, other expectations. Since I'm not with you every day, I still expect you to follow the same rules about your cell phone. You should not have your cell phone out. I'll talk with Miss Blish, but let her know that I prefer them not to be in your possession. That maybe they can be laid on the counter, or I'll get her a box or something for her to put them in. But the cell phone policy still is important, and it's even more important in you guys are taking this class because you have so much to do, and because you need to be working on what you're doing. Let's see, I talked to you a little bit about tests. I talked to you about and we will go into more detail as we get into the first unit. I will give you that assignment for your year-long disease table, and you can kind of start collecting information on that. Now, when we talk about lab reports, you guys will be doing lots of labs, which means for every lab, I will receive a lab report. You will complete your first lab on Thursday of next week. You'll do a lab Thursday of next week, which means that Friday of next week, you'll look at your Google Classroom. It'll tell you when that lab is due. The lab report will be due the next day. Especially since you have extended time period in class, the lab will be due next day. We will talk about structural units and homeostasis right after that, so use your time wisely. The lab is a little bit lengthy. I think the first lab, there's a very, very, very small lab report you do on the first lab, but they become more in depth the further we go into the class. Your lab reports must be done in APA format. I'll give you an example of one, but lab reports, this is a college science class, and so you're going to have to do your lab reports in APA format. We'll do some research at some times. You'll have current events sometimes I ask you to do, and when we ask you to do a current event, you're going to have to upload your current event, so be sure you save that. Most of you will do them or scan it and attach it, however you do. Most of you will just pull them offline, but you're going to attach it, and then you're going to have to write a summary of it. It's going to have to be posted under a specific topic, and I will expect everyone to respond to those. So you're going to have to, like, if there's I think there's about 15 or 18 total students in anatomy, you'll be required to respond to 3 current events when we do current events, to let me know that you've reviewed and read them. So that'll be kind of the discussion board part of this class. This class really is fun. It's one of the most fun classes I teach because we get to do some pretty gross stuff. You'll make slides. When we talk about structural units and we talk about that kind of thing, we'll actually make cheek swab slides. It's kind of cool. Excuse me. Some of the things we get to do. So you guys just be sure that you are staying on time as much as possible. Let's see, what else? I want you to be sure you really read what we're doing. I mean, I'll tell you what we cover the first semester. We're going to cover the introduction to anatomy, which is just a basic overview. We're going to go to talk about the chemistry of life, which talks about the basic units, the pH level, We talk about how particles move back and forth across the membrane and with diffusion. We're going to talk about different types of cells and organelles. Then you'll do a lab, and you'll have a lab report due. We're going to talk about cellular metabolism and cellular reproduction. We're going to talk about tissues. We're going to talk about, we'll do histology, which is talking about tissues. We'll talk about the integumentary system, the skeletal system, the muscular system. We will talk about that when we will finish the nervous system in the first semester. So we will get all the way through the nervous system. The second semester, we'll do cardiovascular, respiratory. We'll finish it on out. But like I said, you will have a significant amount of material to cover. And like I said, this is a college level class, so you will have college level material. Another thing I will give you guys is vocabulary. I know you had vocabulary in medical term, but I will give you vocabulary. I'll actually give you basically a vocabulary list with definitions for each unit. And I'm doing that because it'll be with your reading material. Because if I don't do that, then I'm not sure if you have all the right terms. Medical terminology was a little bit different. Medical term you had to learn. You should already know, and I'll expect you to know most of those terms we went over last year. So, like I said, just be sure that you are staying on top of things. If you get behind, it's going to be really difficult. We're pushing kind of hard the first semester because, and we may even get ahead of that, like we may move even past the nervous system and start cardiovascular. The reason why is in the spring semester, you guys have a lot going on. And I don't want it to kill you because we don't want to get behind because I don't want it to be killing you in the summer. We have to finish everything this year. So just be sure that you're doing that. Okay, so now for the fun stuff. You're going to have a survey that I want you to complete. You're going to have a quiz I want you to complete. I'm going to upload. Go ahead and upload the disease table project for you. Please be sure that you read that. You may even have a quiz over what the disease table is about next time. And I'm just going to stop now and give you a little bit of time to cover that. I'll give you about 20 minutes to work on the survey and the quiz. Shouldn't take you too long. And then you'll have another video to watch where we talk about a little bit about expectations with Cornell Notes and flashcards and how to use Quizlet to be more effective on what you're doing. So I'm going to get that disease table project up and going for you, and we will definitely discuss it in a little more detail on the next class day. All right, guys. Just get that stuff completed today because it will be due by the end of class. And remember do not forget to open the entire assignment, and when you have finished everything, click complete, okay, or click the done button. That will be also part of your grade, part of what you do. That way, I am sure when you are not in my class, you have gone through and completed the work. So be sure once you open your assignment and finish everything, you click done. Don't forget, because I will send you an email that says, why didn't you complete your task today? Okay. So you guys have a great day, and I will be back with you later. Thanks, everybody.